Next guest is somebody that I can share a lot of things in common with, that I feel I have a bond with, and I like to think of him as a friend. As you all know, I'm a huge union guy. The guy I'm getting ready to introduce, Kevin Dawson, is running for Oklahoma State Chair, and he is a union man as well. It's my honor to introduce him, be the speaker to introduce him tonight. He is running for state chair. Kevin is a lifelong advocate for working people and a proud union leader. He's a dedicated Oklahoman. At just 18, he began his career in the railroad industry. He was quickly raised to become one of the youngest locomotive engineers at age 19 in American history. Over his 43-year career, Kevin has worked tirelessly to serve as a local chairman, a union steward, and for the United Transport Union, and later a member of the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen. His experience in leadership, problem solving, and grassroots organizing has prepared him to take the challenge of revitalizing Oklahoma's Democratic Party. With his campaign motto, Republicans want to control the will of the people, Democrats will do the will of the people, Kevin is ready to lead Oklahoma's Democratic Party out of the political wilderness and back into the political arena. With your support, he will bring energy, strategy, and working class values back to the party. It is time to stop letting the train run us. It's time to run the damn train. So hopefully Washington County will welcome to our county, Kevin Dawson.
That was great. Thank you, Brandon. You know, a couple of things. First of all, whenever you have somebody that invites you to their community, make sure that you thank the community for allowing you to come up and speak. And I want to do that right now. Thank you. Thanks, Celeste. Thank you for the Washington County Democratic Party. You guys are an outstanding group of people. Thank you. If I forget, do that again. But again, I thank everybody for coming out today. This is an outstanding group, folks. This is outstanding, and it gives me so much inspiration as somebody who is running for the Oklahoma Democratic Party state chair, that I actually see people who are willing to do the work, and that's what we're going to need to do as well. Thank you, Brandon, for that great introduction. It's an amazing thing. I've got just a couple of cards here, and I can take one of them and put it right to the back. So that was very good. Thank you. And again, I want to make sure that everybody here, please give a round of applause to Celeste. She did an outstanding job, and I really appreciate everything that she's done. So we got to talk about some things that are going on. And this is going to be a little bit of audience participation. Yes, Amy, I'm copying off of you. Maybe not. But anyway, this is something that I always like to ask these questions. Who's tired of having the Republican Party define who you are? I am. Who's tired of having somebody go on the news and tell a whole bunch of lies, and then the reporter doesn't follow up with questions and get something done about that, or actually find out what the truth is? Show us the receipts, folks. If you're going to tell a lie, show us the receipts. They don't follow up on it. I'm intending on being that person that will follow up on that question, and I will bring it home to that reporter so that that reporter knows we need to have those answers to those questions. We're going to talk just a little bit more about who I am. First of all, I'm a proud husband. This is my wife over here, Joanne. We have 3 children. We have 8 grandchildren. And they are the love of our lives. We really appreciate all that they have done. I got to talk to them about that just a little bit, because I got to say one more thing about the introduction. Again, outstanding introduction. I really appreciate that, Brandon. I missed that part, though. I didn't talk about my education. So I always quote my wife, and we always talk about this in private. I always did things backwards in life. I went as a very young man, and I got a career. I found a career right out of high school. As a matter of fact, I had to wait until my 18th birthday before I could go to work for him. 14 months later, I became a locomotive engineer, something that it took my father 30 years to do and my grandfather 35 years to do. So I did it in 14 months. Well, what's the next logical thing a person should do? I mean, really the logical thing out of high school is go to college, right? Well, I got a job. So that was, check number one. Then I got married. Usually you go to college, then you get married, then you find a career. Well, I messed that up, didn't I? I really messed that up. Now I'm getting married, having children. Then I decide I want to go to college. I want to go back to school. I'm doing all of this training for the railroad, and I've gone through all of these courses to become a locomotive engineer, but I don't have any degree work. So I went back to school. I got my associate's degree from Southeast Community College in Beatrice, Nebraska. Then I went to the University of Oklahoma, and I got my bachelor's degree in leadership. Then I decided, you know what? I am having so much fun with my education. I want to go back and get my master's in leadership, and that's where I did from the University of Oklahoma. So again, I accomplished a lot, but I did it backwards, and I did it a little bit later in life for most people. But that brings me to where I'm at right now. You would think that somebody would want to do this at a lot younger age, but I'm telling you, I have the energy and I have the stamina, and I'm ready to go out and I'm ready to fight for you, the Democrats of the state of Oklahoma, because we need change in Oklahoma. We need a course correction in Oklahoma, because who's tired of seeing the numbers go from 1 million people in 2010 that belong to the Democratic Party down to 600,000 people today? I'm going to drive those numbers back up, and I'll tell you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the working class people in this state, the people who feel like they've been neglected and have decided they don't want to be part of the Democratic Party no more. We're going to go back out and we're going to work with those people, and we're going to get them excited about being Democrats again. Who here is tired of not being excited about our candidates that are running for office? We're tired of that. I mean, Joe Biden was my idol. I appreciated the man. But I was like, please, come on. We need energy. We need another John F. Kennedy. We need another Barack Obama. I'm a firm believer that the Oklahoma Democratic Party is a viable and strong party. We have that ability. All we have to do is get that 80% of people who do nothing for our party, do not participate, get them active again. And I think it just needs somebody like myself to give them that inspiration. I can do that. I will go to them and I will talk to them. I will go to their doorsteps. We will call them. We will do everything that we're doing. It's called a permanent campaign. When we're not campaigning for our candidates, we're campaigning for our party, to build our party back up and to get people back excited to do things for our party again. And I'm talking about focusing on ranchers and farmers, clerks, nurses, police officers, fire officials, people like myself. I mean, I was on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I was gone away from my family for extended periods of time, and I worked hard for my family. But I was gone for extended periods of time away from my family, but I had mud on my boots. I understand working class people. I am working class people. And I think that people want to hear a message from people like me that has that inspirational story that, yes, we have more to do in the state of Oklahoma, and we can get people excited, and we can do things. And what is that one thing we want to do? We want to change Oklahoma. I'm sorry, honey. I'm getting excited. So she always says, you got to calm down now. You got to calm down. So again, the party needs a course correction. So one of the things we've got to do is we've got to start working on our platform. And I've got a platform that I think is rock solid and I'm so proud of. And I talked about it, the first step, and that is our permanent campaign and establishing that permanent campaign to promote the Democratic Party. We've got to focus on working class, rural people in this state. They have felt neglected long enough, and it's time to re-energize those people. Who is the base for Oklahoma? It is rural Oklahoma. So thank you. We've got to get rid of that DC establishment and the consultants who come in here and try to tell us, and they don't fight for us. You know, Ken Martin and I had this conversation a few years ago. He's our new DNC chair. He just took office last month. And I had a conversation with him a couple of years ago. Why are you surrendering Oklahoma to the Republicans? We've got to do more than what we're doing right now. We need to come out with a 50-state strategy. Guess what they just announced last month? A 50-state strategy. I'm so excited about that. Ken Martin is a man of the people, and I think he's going to be a great leader for the Democratic Party. When you hear on the news right now that the Democratic Party is at the lowest they've ever been, or their approval rating is down, don't believe it. That's the old system that's gone. We've got new, exciting people that are in there. Besides Ken Martin, we've got Jane Klebb. Jane Klebb is the president of the SDC, who are the chairs. That's the president of all the chairs for all the states. She is so exciting. And guess where she's from, folks? Nebraska. Nebraska. What's more rural than Nebraska? But besides Oklahoma, right?
Why are we just? That's what I think the Democrats have a problem with.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why we need a new leader. That's why we need a new leader in the state of Oklahoma, because we got to do that.
Can you repeat what she said for people that
Said, why don't people hear this, what I'm telling you right now? Why isn't it being told? That all I can tell you is that's a failure of leadership. We've got to get people who will be willing to communicate with you and communicate with you in a way that you want to be heard, not the way that they want you to go to. I'm getting tired of I go to meetings and people say, hey, I've never heard of this program coming up. And I keep asking them, how did you hear about today? Well, the chair said you have to go to their website, you have to look up their calendar. When you find their calendar, you have to look up the date, and then you have to figure out what's going on. I want us to stop doing that. I want us to start feeding information directly to you, calling you up, letting you know that we have a party today, and we need to get out there, and we need to get excited about it. So thank you for that comment. That was very good.
Because all you think about is that ignorant Walters. And that's all you hear about. You don't hear about this stuff in Oklahoma anymore. You hear about these silly Bibles that he bought from Trump.
Right.
And put them in trailers. I'm embarrassed.
You get going very much further, you're going to come after here and join me, okay? Because we got to get you in front of the mic. You are right on. You're right on. How many people here are sick and tired of Ryan Walters? Yeah, there you go. So another thing that Brandon talked about that I want to talk to you about. We know that the Republican Party and Ryan Walters want to control the will of the people. But we also know that the Democrats want to do the will of the people. So right now, we've got to work on getting more Democrats. And how do we get more Democrats? We've got to work at the precinct level. We've got to build our precincts back up. We've got to get people excited to be part of the Democratic Party. Now is the time to do that. There's no time in American history that we need to do that more than right now. And right now, we have the greatest opportunity for the greatest growth of our lives. Right now, people are going to be disenfranchised, and they're going to be disgusted with that other party because they're failing them. They're losing their jobs. They're losing their homes. They're losing their livelihoods. So we've got to make sure that those people have a cushion and a place to come to. The people that might have been last year our arch enemies may be our partners tomorrow. Think about that. Think about that. The people who who felt like they were part of MAGA and they wanted that type of lifestyle for them, all of a sudden they're losing their jobs. Where are they going to go? They're going to be so disenfranchised with that party and so disgusted with it that they're going to go to a party that is trying to help the people. And who is going to try to help the people? Democrats. Who do you trust? And it goes to ask the question for them. Who do you trust with your Social Security? Democrats. Who do you trust with your health care? Democrats. Who do you trust with your education system? Democrats. Who do you trust with Medicare? Democrats. Who do you trust with Medicaid? Democrats. None of those things are answered by Republicans. That's why those people are going to come to us, because we have a plan and we want to make sure that they have a place to land. Absolutely correct. Who do you trust with the VA? Democrats. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. That was help me out, brother. That's all I ask. Just help me out. So again, grassroots approach is the way to do this. And that's talking with our neighbors and getting out into, so we talk about precinct chairs. What really is a precinct chair? You answered that so well, and I appreciate you for saying what you do. Another way of saying what she said is these are block leaders.
Yes.
So they're the people on the block that are just leading your party along. That's what we need to have, is more of those people. When you're trying to get a candidate, Amy's down there in Owasso, she's busting her ass so that, I'm sorry. Did not mean to say that. But you are busting everything in order to make that happen so you can represent people. And I want to say this out loud. Amy is a good person who is going to try to do great things on your behalf. So we've got to build that party so that we have the infrastructure underneath of her that will support her to run for office. We've got to get those people that are out there excited, that 80% who don't feel like they want to do anything, we've got to get that 80% activated and doing something. So we really have to focus on how are we going to do that. And that's grassroots. We've got to talk to people. And one of the things that I want to do is I'm going to go out and I'm going to start doing public square events. I'm going to go into the public square and I'm going to have a conversation in the public square, at the courthouse, at the city building, in all 77 counties and hundreds of communities throughout the entire state of Oklahoma. We have to get people activated and they have to get excited. The only way to do that is to go to them. We can't expect for them to come to us. We have to go to them. And we have to be honest with them that, guess what? I put my pants on just the same way as you do. I tie my shoes just the same way you do. And guess what? We're going to run arm in arm, hand in hand, and we're going to try to get things done. And how are we going to do it? We're going to do it together as Democrats. We have to engage one another. That's the bottom line. We have to engage one another. So those public square events are so important to my plan. And it's so important for people to be able to relate to who I am. And that's somebody who has worked in the fields, who has been out there with nights, weekends, holidays, working away from, a farmer can relate to me better than they can to just about anybody else, because guess what? We work the same schedules with each other. I hauled their grain for them. Those people are really needing our help right now, because look who's going to get hurt with USAID shutting down. The farmers, the ranchers, those people that have constantly been going to MAGA are also going to be looking for places to come back. And how are we going to get them persuaded to come to the Democratic Party? Not by sitting around waiting for them. We got to go to them. And that's what I'm going to do. Another thing that I'm planning on doing, in the state of Oklahoma, our chair receives a stipend income. That's great. There's one of 10 people of all of the state chairs all across our nation. She's one of only 10 people that do that. That's great. I'm glad this is taking place. But let me make a pledge to you. I will not accept a penny of that for myself. All I want is my expenses paid for, and I will take everything that we earn from our fundraisers for the purpose of the state chair's stipend, and I will divert all of that money to targeted advertising so people know that the Democratic Party is available to them. We've got to make sure that people have a place to land when they fall. And I'm telling you folks, MAGA is getting ready to fall. So in conclusion, there's only one way that I can get elected as the chair. That is through your vote. So on June 28th and 29th is the state convention. It's in Broken Arrow. It's going to be very close for you to go. There's only a way for you, the pathway for you to go vote is to become a precinct chair here. There's other ways to do it too, but we really need to focus on doing it the conventional way, which is to be a precinct chair, go to the county convention, become a delegate for your county, go to the district, and then finally go to the state where you can actually vote for change, and that change is for me. And I want to thank you very much for allowing me to come and talk to you tonight. Thank you. I will take a few questions. Now, am I going to be good at questions? That's the other part of it. Am I going to be good at this? So we're going to find out.
I don't really have a question. I have a statement.
Okay, here.
I needed this.
Come on.
I needed this night really bad. I am surrounded by a lot of family members that have given up.
Yeah.
They just don't have any hope anymore. And I'm one of those people. I wake up every day and think, whew, I'm breathing. It's a good day. But I try to be positive. I try to look at the situation and think it's going to get better. It's got to. Wow. You, both of you. I'm just, y'all are what I've been looking for.
Well, thank you.
It's renewed my hope, my excitement, and I can't wait to talk to my family and let them know that, hey, get out and do something. Make the change. So that's all I wanted.
Quoting President Obama, do something. That's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing.